Hey there, everyone. I just wanted to give you a quick update on where I'm at with version 2.3. It's certainly been a while since I've put a video together to talk about progress and what I have planned and where I'm at. And so now's a good time as any. I'll keep this video real brief. Some of the things that I mentioned have been demonstrated already in Farron's weekly theme workshop video stream that he does. So I'll skip going into those items in great detail because they've already been covered. All right, so let's get into it. So one of the items I'm wrapping up with in this build, I'm in a platform view, the text filters view here, and I'm actually displaying a game. The game is random, and it's using random game bindings that, unknown to me, have been in BigBox for maybe a release or two. And what this allows you to do is, well, essentially what I've done here, and that's display a random game. In this case, it's box front, be it 3D or non-3D. The community star ratings or game rate or user ratings associated with the game, and I've got one badge just to prove that this was working. And they're just metadata fields, as you are accustomed to in your game views. So, for example, if I go to community star rating or user rating, I think yeah, that's it. All these metadata fields are prefixed with the word random. So it's random game, community or user rating, random community rating, so on and so forth. Okay. Same is true for Gamebox. If I click on this, random Gamebox 3D or normal. So it's pretty much what you're accustomed to seeing in a game view. It's just that this information is now available for a random game that's selected when a platform is a new platform is selected. All right. So what's cool about that, as you can see, if I bounce between PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, it truly is picking up a random game and displaying all the associated images. And obviously, if I had text, it would bring in the text for this stuff too. Okay. So that's something I'm currently working on. I'm going to tweak it up and kind of finalize it for this build. But a lot of my time and effort has gone into basically trashing old code that I put together when I first put this app together 3.5 years ago as a proof of concept. I've got some old school. I had some old school code in there, and it's been replaced with up-to-date WPF related logic. So the idea being is I'm trying to improve performance, the user experience, and code maintainability going forward, so it'll be a lot easier for me to maintain the code and add features or fix issues and whatnot. It was a spider's web of nonsense in some cases in this main screen. For version 2.0, it took me a good 12 months to essentially do the same thing in the editor. Granted, there were a lot of new features that were added to the editor itself, but even so, the core of the editor still had some old legacy code that I needed to ditch and an update. So it won't be taking me 12 months to update this main window here. There's far less code in here. But what does that mean? So let's see if I can provide an example. And granted, my game collection on my laptop is only, I think, just under 6,000 games in total. So I know a lot of you guys have got far more than that. And as I've been talking, I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on. So I may have to restart this app. So this is version 2.2 that you're currently using, or that's currently out there on the forum. Okay, this is a good example. So what I've done here is the filter is on all games, and I've just picked this game here just to make sure that I've got artwork and a video and some metadata values. Okay, so I'm going to exit the app and go back in and watch very closely at the animation when the application first loads. Okay. It stutters, and in some cases the video, you didn't even see it scroll in. I don't even recall seeing this portion, the middle portion, scroll in from the top. So let me just run that one more time. What I'm expecting to see, or how I've defined the animations, is basically the game details come in from the top, the date and time, they come in from the left and the right, and the video and the box work and all this kind of stuff, and the wheel, they should all come in from, the wheel comes in from the bottom, and the box comes in from the left, and the video comes in from the right. And it should all happen as soon as the view is loaded. Okay, so let's just do this one more time. Yeah, so I noticed that the video didn't even scroll in or move in, and I didn't see this section moving in from the top of the screen into its current position here. Okay, so what I've noticed is also when you're clicking on a game or selecting a platform, and depending on the animations that you have defined, it just wasn't operating in the same way as, one, the editor, and two, BigBox. Okay, and you know, if you're like me, I rely on this screen here to kind of give me an indication of how this is going to run in BigBox, and it was not running anywhere close to what it should look like in BigBox. So I've spent a great deal of time rejigging the code, like I said earlier, in order to kind of get it to match BigBox. All right, so that's 2.2. And we'll fire up 2.3, and I'll pick the same theme. And I'll go into the same view, and I'll change the filter to be all games. And I can't remember the game I selected. It was down here somewhere. It was one of these, I think. All right. So I'm going to exit the app and then relaunch. Okay. And there you go. The entire games list was loaded, the view was loaded, and then all the animations kicked off as I would expect them to kick off, when they should kick off. And it's extremely consistent. The timings between when you actually click on an item, and we have different bindings. You've got selected and active. They're all triggered in exactly the same way as BigBox now. I confirmed that this morning with Christian on the Launchbox, BigBox team. So again, you know, if I resize the window, it has to recalculate. It reloads the view. And then the animations all kick in. Now there's a bit of a delay going on because I've got my laptop overloaded with absolutely everything right now, and the fan is on full blast. But normally you wouldn't have such a, you know, the animation wouldn't be kind of stuck like that before it reloads the view. It's just, yeah, this laptop is extremely hot right now. So if I maximize the window, yeah, and then it'll catch up with itself, and then reload. Like I said, I think with what it's doing right now, thermal throttling, it's just got this huge delay in resize. So but yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's really just to improve the user experience, so that this front end screen here gives you an accurate representation of what you're ultimately going to see in BigBox before you publish and run BigBox, and that's critical. One of the other things I'm working on right now, as you can see as I scroll through this large game list, because I've got the filter set to all games, as I'm clicking on each game, it's showing the selection in the text wheels. I'll be changing the logic in there too, so that this list of games in this box is actually pulling from this set of data over here. So that way I only have one instance of the data and not two. So that will save on machine resources and performance. So that's another thing that I'm going to be working on this weekend. And the reason I'm doing that, not just to save on resources and be more efficient code-wise, but ultimately I want all wheels to be displayed in the theme creator as they would appear in BigBox. And so in order to do that, I need to make this data easily available for these wheels in various views. And this is just a way of me kind of getting to that goal, okay? So I won't have true wheel previews in place for version 2.3, but I'm laying the foundation for when I actually start making those changes to make those wheels actually available for preview. I think that's pretty much it that I want to cover. Like I said, for badge support, I believe that was covered in last Friday's theme workshop with Farron. So I don't really want to kind of go over that or rehash what he had already discussed. See, even making a combo box selection right now with my laptop being so hot is taking a while. So I know it's, and this is a very lightweight control. There's nothing to it. It's just a list. But yeah, I've clicked on it and it's taken a while for it to register. So yeah, so badge support, I have this test theme here. Poor laptop. All right, so here's every single badge that's supported within Launchbox, and I haven't changed the default images within Launchbox, so these are the stock images that are provided. But it's very easy to switch them out. by default, it defaults to Launchbox badges, so it will use those images. But just like with any media folder, you can create your own in the theme and then load it up with images and go in here and select that folder that contains your custom images for this stuff. And I have only got one, and that's for favorite. And there you go. So I've just overridden one badge for my theme, as and when this badge is to appear on any view that I've added it to. So it's real easy to utilize. All right. And I've got visibility conditioning set to each of the rows. So if there is no badge for this particular game, this whole row won't show, which means that the frame itself will automatically adjust in height. And then I have one big visibility condition for the whole frame. And if any, basically by default, the whole frame is collapsed, and it will only become visible if at least one badge has actually got content. All right, so every single badge is listed here, and so it works with visibility conditioning as well. So we ultimately end up with, I've just discarded my my change to the favorite image. It will just use the stock images. All right, so if I just click on some of these games here, and this is just super slow right now. In fact, if I pick, if I go back to platforms, then pick arcade, there you go. So like I said, the frame will adjust in height depending on how many badges are being displayed. So we got two. I'm trying to find one with multiple, maybe not. Windows, maybe. Did find one. It could be. There you go. So there's three on this one. Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. But like I said, don't need to go into it in great detail. It's already been covered. But I just wanted to kind of mention it here. But again, it's primarily user experience that I'm focusing on now. I have added so many other features and large features, and then some additions and whatnot, and I'll cover that at a later time when version 2.3 is actually ready to be uploaded to the forum, but I'm not ready yet. All right, so I've got some cleanup, I've got some other bug fixes. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, I'll be ready to upload version 2.3. I've still got a ways to go, but with the holiday season, I'll have some time off, and hopefully I can get it back on track and get it out to you guys as quickly as possible. All right. But yeah, that pretty much concludes this video. It may not look like it's a big deal. It's a big deal to me, and what it means going forward. It's, like I said, it's a lot easier for me to maintain the code going forward in this main window, and it's important for theme designers that rely on this main screen as a preview as to how BigBox will show off their theme. So it's critical that this replicates the BigBox experience as close it can. before you publish. All right. So that's it for now. Hopefully I'll have another update for you in a couple of weeks. So it's highly unlikely I'll be speaking to you guys before Christmas. But happy holidays to all of you. And I hope to speak to you all again prior to the new year. All right. So take care, everyone. I'll speak to you soon.